So I just got back from watching Turning Red, and it was pretty fucking disappointing. My channel in the past hasn't had a great track record with Disney films, and while this isn't the worst one I've seen, it still wasn't very good. I would say for anyone who's fine with safe Pixar movies that feel kind of cliche and generic at times, then you'll love this movie. Although this isn't going to be a spoiler-free video, I'm going to be thoroughly discussing and talking about spoilers. So there's your warning. If you want my rating for the movie, skip to the timecode on screen. Okay, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I would say that the first 15 minutes of this film was amazing. It was cute, fun, and charming. I didn't really see any problems with it, and had this visually impressive editing style that made it feel like an Edgar Wright movie at times. And the motivations for the characters I was fine with. They are teenage girls, so of course they'd want to see a boy band. Simplistic motivations don't really bother me. This movie is about puberty, and I think it works great for everyone. Unlike in Luca, where the motivations for the main character was kind of stupid, and just Up until Mei Mei got the red panda curse thingy, it was great, but then it happened, the first problem of the movie for me. Which was why the fuck didn't the mother ever mention to Mei Mei about the red panda shit? Like, ever? Surely you would mention that one important detail when it runs in the family. This isn't something that you'd only mention when it starts only happening to her now. I'm sorry, but that's just too dumb. I don't care who you are, but the most logical option would be to warn your child about this, so then they'll be prepared. And when it does happen, they'll come to you for help. But nope, we need more drama and stakes. Who cares about good writing and consistency? Also, why wouldn't you assume that once she hit puberty, she would start having these issues? If you think she has hit puberty too soon, then why not assume that the panda might not be too far behind either? Gee, it would have been a great time to tell her then, and get it out of the way, and nope, we don't mention it. And her excuse for not telling Mei Mei is such bullshit. Like, oh, I thought I knew the signs. What the fuck do you mean you knew the signs, you cretin? Just tell her so when she does have it, she'll know what to do, and then she'll tell the mother if anything happens. Why the fuck did you think waiting to tell her would have been the better solution? Also, why the fuck is Tyler everywhere? And just happens to be conveniently at the exact place at the right time for Mei Mei to fuck out. What is he, stalking her or some shit? And I know this is a nitpick, but it bugged me so much. And that's why the fuck does every math class start off with the quadratic formula in a movie? Like, it's always the fucking quadratic formula. At least do something original like algebra or something. Like, oh, a plus b equals... Don't just do, oh, can someone tell me the quadratic formula? I really need to know this one again. It's like in every fucking pretentious art film, they always pick San Francisco as their spot. I always hate the fucking cliche of people talking in earshot of main character, so they hear the bad things that they're saying about them, and it either was taken extremely out of context, or it is indeed what they meant to say. I fucking hate it. It's in Arcane, it's in Spider-Verse, and it's in Gravity Falls. I'm fucking sick of it, okay? So anyway, Mei Mei's friends decide to come by, and instead of knocking on the front door like a normal person would, they instead knock on her window like some fucking stalker. But that's only so that they could plan to go to whatever the band was called. What was it? Four Top? High Top? Oh shit, never mind. That's something actually bad that exists in the real world. My bad. High Top, just because you're self-aware of being a hack doesn't mean you aren't one, buddy. Nor does it excuse you being one. Anyway, to calm Mei Mei down, her friends decide to sing loudly. But in the scene before, her mother could hear Mei Mei screaming and banging in frustration. But why can't they hear the fucking 4 children singing at the top of their lungs? I guess they magically turned deaf for a few solid minutes. How convenient. Otherwise, the mother would be pretty fucking pissed, and a lot of the plot would have never happened. Contrived? Most definitely. Also, I know that Mei Mei is stressed out about the concert, but couldn't she just go on a different date if it's too inconvenient for her? Usually tours have multiple dates, and even if they don't, You're a red panda, you could literally go there no problem with your friends riding you. If you don't feel like doing that, then save up like $15 more to catch a bus ride to that area. It's seriously not that hard. Also, your mother will definitely know you're lying if you say that you're sleeping over at a friend's house in order to see the concert. Have you fucking seen your mother in this movie? She's been taking every opportunity to stalk you 24/7. One other thing, why the fuck is Tyler's blackmail working? How does he have her mother's phone number? And if they are going to go along with Tyler's plan, then why wouldn't they make him pay now?
Money up front.
Also, why the fuck does the mother keep on hiding important bits of information? Oh right, to make artificial stakes that don't matter to the overall plot. You can't just make up rules as you go along in a film, you need to establish them from the beginning. It's like if you saw two dudes fighting and then the main character just randomly pulls out a gun that had never been established in the film and shoots the villain in the head. It's lazy writing, and the least you could do is build up to the scene. At least. But nope, it's just revealed to us so randomly. And again, the grandmother tells her another piece of information that could have been established, and that's if she turns into the panda too much, she'll be like that forever, and the movie acts like it's this tense moment. But how the fuck do you know it's not too late yet? For all you know, you could have used it too many times to transform back. In the film, you've been transforming in and out of the panda so many times that it wouldn't be unreasonable to make that assumption. But the film acts like this is a tense moment when she arrives at Tyler's birthday party. But what are the consequences that come to Mei Mei for doing this? Well, none, actually. I mean, she does get punished by her mother, but that's completely unrelated. That's because she snuck out and was getting paid for turning into the panda. But Mei Mei wants to be the panda forever. Anyway, so what was the point in emotionally manipulating your audience for that, if no consequence is gonna come for her doing it? So who the fuck leaves their window open when they're gonna sneak out? And why the fuck did Mei Mei think that under her bed was a good hiding spot to hide her money? It's so contrived, because just when the grandma's like, hey, you need to watch her more carefully now, even though she's been stalking her the whole movie, which she already has before, all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I'll check on my daughter right now. I guess I'll let it pass, but the fact that Mei Mei didn't even bother to shut the fucking window or hide her shit better just goes to show how contrived this scene is. But all these scenes I've been talking about is nothing in comparison to this scene. This fucking contrived scene. I swear, this is the worst scene in the movie. And it acts like it's this shocking moment, but it isn't, it's just fucking frustrating. Let me explain. So basically, Mei and her friends are relaxing on top of Tyler's roof, and they're listening to the radio. Now just wait, because the radio comes into play for being super contrived. Not only are they just conveniently listening to the radio at the same specific time that the ad comes on, but they're listening and conveniently the 4Town ad starts playing. And it turns out that Abby got the dates wrong. Now this is where the stupid shit happens, because not only is the concert on the same date as the ritual, but Abby, a boy band obsessed maniac, got the dates mixed up. Now maybe I could have barely suspended disbelief, but then I realized, oh shit, shouldn't all these idiots have pamphlets? Why are they solely relying on Abby for the dates? They are obsessed with the boy band. Shouldn't they be fangirling over the dates with their own separate pamphlets they have? But fine, maybe they don't have pamphlets for some dumb reason. But remember the fact that this is a popular band going on tour. They should have posters up everywhere around town, and on TV. It should also be playing on the fucking radio. And you're telling me not one single fucking character heard nor saw the dates, and they were like, hold up, Abby mixed up the dates. Nope, they just trust Abby with that information apparently, and are also blind and fucking deaf. This is the most contrived part of the film, and as a viewer, you have lost my enjoyment and believability into getting invested in your film. So anyway, Mei Mei gets told off for hurting Tyler, and what the fuck? Where were the parents before? Why are they now getting concerned with a giant red panda making a mess of things now? These parents are probably some of the worst parents I've seen in a Pixar film, and that's saying something. So anyway, the day of the festival arrives, blah blah blah, and again, These people keep withholding information from Mei Mei on how it will be mostly painless. Why haven't you guys told her this before the day of the ritual? I swear I want to fucking gouge my eyes out. Also, why does the mother turn into the panda so easily? It's released so easily just by her getting super mad. Are you telling me her mother hasn't experienced any other form of extreme emotion in her life? Because the movie acts like this is the first time it ever happens. Oh, now you can just break your magic devices and that lets the panda out? Have you guys never accidentally broken it, nor have you lost it? That sure is pretty convenient that you know how to release the panda. This movie sure loves making up its own rules, doesn't it? Also, I fucking hate the overprotective mother cliche in these movies. It's so generic and predictable, and this movie doesn't do anything special with that cliche anyway. There are too many Disney movies with fucking overprotective parents. It's getting on my nerves at this point. Also, another criticism is that the main protagonist could be too whiny for me at times. At times it was manageable, but other times it really got on my nerves. Again, these aren't things that are too bad, but it does affect the overall score for me. Not in a big way, but it still affects it. Also, I liked the ending for this movie, except for the final 30 seconds. It feels like the message was just trying to be for everyone, and I understand what it was trying to do, but it didn't really hit home for me. I'm sure the message will only not work for me because of my condition, and the ending is of course personal preference, so I won't discuss it any further since it's a very personal thing. I don't love to share my info about my condition with people. Maybe it feels selfish criticizing the ending because while others enjoy it, I did not. Whatever, it's my fucking video and my criticisms, so there's bound to be personal preference in every review, not just mine. Anyway, those are all the criticisms I can think of for the film. I thought it was pretty cute and charming at times, and definitely had its moments. I thought the comedy worked surprisingly well at times. Some parts didn't exactly hit, but most of the times I would find myself surprised for the film to get a few laughs out of me. I found the animation to be pretty good. I feel like the final act is where the animation really shines. It's not revolutionary animation or anything, it's just good, and I'm completely fine with that. The characters were pretty good, although I felt like they forgave Mei Mei way too fucking fast. Like, they just made up in 30 seconds, even though Mei Mei did something extremely shitty, and no friend would ever make up with them in 30 solid seconds. But yeah, this film is pretty predictable. Every time I felt like I could predict something was going to happen, and every time it would end up happening. So don't go into this movie expecting something like The Incredibles or any older Pixar movie. This movie is a pretty safe by-the-books kids movie, and if you have kids, they'll definitely enjoy it. Although sometimes I felt like this movie went on for a bit too long. I felt like they could have cut a good 20 minutes from this film, and it would have been perfect. I don't know, it just felt pretty bloated at times. Anyway, watch this film if you like Pixar or you have kids, and I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 10. Thank you, that'll be all.